Welcome on in, Horus Heresy, as well as Warhammer 40K action figure enjoyers. This is Sprues and Studs, and we are here today to talk a little bit about a few of the announcements that JoyToy has made with regards to some releases. The first release that we are going to be talking about are the Sanguinary Guard. So the tentative release date for these new Primaris Sanguinary Guard are going to be sometime in October. GW announced the remodels of these legendary miniatures sometime back in August 2024. So obviously it has taken roughly JoyToy about a year to get the mini converted into action figure form. I will touch upon how I feel about the redesigns of the Sanguinary Guard, and I will literally say to you in that I think that they're absolute garbage. There's really nothing regal or elegant about them that kind of sets them apart from your regular Primaris Ultramarines Intercessors, which is not a good thing to me. Yes, I know that I am being harsh, but look how these vanilla-looking Sanguinary Guard compared to the OG Sanguinary Guard. There are no glorious angelic wings. The death masks don't even look haunting, and there's just no blood angels flair to them whatsoever. So what do these releases of the Sanguinary Guard mean? Well, perhaps it means that the turnaround time for when the mini gets converted to an action figure form is roughly about a year. So maybe we'll expect Grimnar as well as Shan in about a year from now. We shall see. We have seen the announcement of the two Blood Angels captains, as well as the Sanguinary Priest, and now we are seeing these new Sanguinary Guard from last year. So if these action figures were announced from the minifigure release, that would mean that I would assume that Asterath, Lamartes, as well as the Sanguinors action figures should be imminent. But again, I have absolutely no ties to JoyToy or GW whatsoever, so this is me just making an educated guess. Progressing on to the Dark Angels, Cypher, Lord of the Fallen, this announcement really took me off guard. I feel as if he really came out of nowhere because if I'm not mistaken, his miniature was last released or remodeled back in 2016, and there was really no update or any kind of trigger that would warrant JoyToy to release this action figure. But here we are. We have the action figure of the Dark Angels persona non grata. He is scheduled to be released in October for $68 before the discount at David Toys. I'm not really going to comment on how this action figure looks, but suffice to say, he is pretty accurate to his 2016 miniature. So what does this release mean for us action figure enjoyers? I really don't know, but I can honestly say is that if there is a miniature, then JoyToy or GW can literally reach into their hat and then pick out any one of them to make into an action figure. We have the announcement of little Horus Aximand. I searched through the Black Library, and apparently that there was a release in GW for his miniature back in April of 2024. So it took roughly 16 months for JoyToy to convert the mini into action figure form. Focusing in on the action figure, I initially found that the Sons of Horus line to be kind of bland and milquetoast. Aside from Abaddon, there really was not an action figure that kind of jumped out at me that said, buy me right now. So that's why I don't really own that many Sons of Horus action figures aside from Abaddon as well as the War Master himself. However, I believe that's going to change because of Aximand. He has glorious gold all over his armor, and this gold really gives you a sense of regalness about him. Either way, you best bet I will do a full review on this action figure because he checks off all the boxes for me. So wait for that review sometime in September. Finally, we have Perturabo, who is scheduled to be released in October, and I always get excited when a Primarch gets released, and Perturabo is no exception to that rule. I think that he looks absolutely incredible compared to his Silver Sheet Legionaries due to the different textures as well as colors that can be found on the armor. You've got the spikes, studs, and hazard stripes that match the aesthetics of the Grunt Iron Warriors. However, these golden designs really remind me of gigantic metal gates. The terracing, outlining, and the color balance looks absolutely amazing to me. So as I said before, I will be reviewing any and all Primarchs on this channel, so look forward to the review sometime in October. Anyway, I think that the current selection of the Iron Warriors figures seem to be a little bit lacking and need some bolstering. Sure, we have the Cataphracti Siege Tyrant Terminators, and I suppose the more grunty looking figures with the Chosen Champion, the Sergeant, as well as the members of the tactical squads. But where is the generic Legion Praetor in regular power armor? On top of the Legion Praetor that's in Cataphracti armor. We've seen this trend in all of the Horus Heresy Legion releases in the past, but we have yet to see one for the Horus Heresy Iron Warriors. Now, in comparison, for the Alpha Legion, there were a total of 9 figures that were released, compared to the slightly paltry 6 that have been released or at least announced for the Iron Warriors thus far. But where are the Iron Havocs, the Iron Circle Domitar, and the Dominator cohort? I feel right now as if the lineup of the Iron Warriors is just a bare metal skeleton. Anyways, what does the announcement of Perturabo mean? Well, obviously now we are one step closer into having my dream, or our dreams, of having all the Primarchs released in action figure form realized. Again, I will have to let you know I have no ties to JoyToy or GW. I'm just making an educated guess here, but perhaps with the release of the Iron Warriors, maybe we'll see the Horus Heresy release of the Salamanders as well as the Iron Hands, just because of their close relation with the Iron Warriors. I don't know. Only time will tell. Oh, by the way, I wanted to take this moment to tell you to hit that subscribe button for me if you are enjoying these new release overviews. And with that being said, let's talk about the biggest rumor, or perhaps it's not even a rumor at all. So in release videos past, I had mentioned that there was a rumor that the Space Marine 2 line was going to die at this Marine with the Relic Secundus armor. But I am here to definitively tell you that was a false rumor and that the line is continuing. Again, I have said that the action figures for the Space Marine 2 line was some of the best that JoyToy has ever done, and it would be a complete waste if they just threw away the whole entire IP and not further development, because there is so many figures that can be developed on that platform. So what I'm going to be telling you is not exactly a rumor, nor is it actually set in stone until the official announcement is going to be made. Apparently a week ago, I was informed that there was a Redditor who posted on, well, Reddit, that happened to be on the JoyToy group chat where people can talk to their design manager / project manager. And apparently that project manager that they were talking to said that the Space Marine 2 line was continuing, as I have said before. So which action figures are we getting? And apparently we are going to be getting the secret levels version of Titus, as well as the 3 Blade Guards. But anyways, multiple sources have corroborated that this rumor is actually true, because they also sat in that group chat. So, ha, naysayers, the Space Marine 2 line is alive and well. So these action figures are rumored to be announced sometime in September, but again, nothing is ever set in stone until it really happens. So take that with a few grains of salt. All right, action figure enjoyers, that is all the announcements that have been covered, as well as the solid rumor that I wanted to tell you all about. Again, if you're interested in these action figures that I have talked about, just click in the link in the description below, or you will be brought to David Toys. The reason why I'm marketing David Toys to you all is because I believe that they have fantastic customer service. They will do their best to replace any wrong part or any part that has an issue to the best of their ability. And I predominantly get all of my action figures from them. And if you want, you can also use my affiliate code SNS to receive 12% off of your purchase. But I believe that these pre-orders all come with a built-in 12% off. So members of the chapter, I am extremely appreciative and thankful for all of your likes, comments, subscribes, and shares, as they help out the channel immensely. Let me know in the comments section, which action figures are you excited for and which ones are you going to buy? Because I know that I am super excited for Secret Level Titus as well as the Blade Guard. And with that being said, I'll see you all in the next one.